Summer has begun, which means that this is peak time for getting your research and writing done because you potentially are not currently teaching. Now, for those of you who, like me, really struggle with getting deadlines and achieving them if I don't have accountability, this video is 3 suggestions on how to find at least one accountability partner, as well as tips for how to actually stay accountable with that partner. And so there's a couple tutorials in this video as well. Hey there, it's Erica from Ever Educating, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this channel is all about teaching tips and tools for new college instructors. And since that's usually grad students, I also have some advice about grad school more generally. If you're a new grad student and you're actually hoping to prep for teaching for the first time in next semester, I do have tons of videos about teaching related tips, so go ahead and peruse my playlist below and also subscribe to make sure you don't miss any future content. Today specifically, I'm talking about accountability because it is the summer and writing is our peak responsibility at this time, most likely. And so there are 3 places to go to find partners. The first is Facebook groups, the second is Twitter, and the third is Meetups, which is an app/website. Now, of course, you can find partners in your actual department or amongst your friends if they're also academics. But in case you don't want like people you actually know in your close friendships to be the ones that you're accountable to, then again, those 3 places are great ways to find partners who are in a similar boat as you. So you can find, like, for example, in the Facebook group I Should Be Writing, you might find partners there. So just do a post, hey, I'm looking for a small accountability group. Do you want to be part of it? I'm currently in my 4th year. I'm working on this thing. And so if you're doing something similar, let me know so we can partner up. Okay? So this can be any group that has a lot of academics in it or grad school groups. There's also one by Toy and Allie, who's also on YouTube here. So she has a group just for grad students. So that can be a place to go as well to find an accountability partner on Facebook. Then on Twitter, you can just tweet out, hey, I'm looking for accountability partners. I'm currently working on this. Are you interested? Reply to this tweet or send me a DM. And then thirdly, it's the app called Meetup. And so this is where you can create groups of, related to topics that interest you. So it can be about anything, of course. But you create a Meetup group saying, hey, I'm looking for fellow grad students who are working on X thing. I need accountability partners to work with. If you're interested, go ahead and join. You have 2 weeks to join, and then we're going to actually start our, being partners and holding ourselves accountable. Okay, or you can keep it open, and then anybody can join at any time and get, let's say, a partner. So then rather than having a group, if you join this group, you'll be matched with 1 person or maybe 2 people, depending on how many people are in the group. That's another option as well. You can search for groups that might already exist that are looking for this type of, people to join, or you can create your own group pretty easily. Now, once you have these accountability partners or, groups, then how exactly do you keep yourself accountable? Obviously depends on you and what works best for you and your partner or partners. But I do have 3 ways that I think are beneficial that I've done with, accountability groups that I'm currently a part of and ones in the past as well. This first way is the simplest, but my favorite is actually the one at the end of this video, which is one of the ones I have tutorials on. But first, if you want to keep it really simple, then you can just create a private Facebook group for you, right? And then you could have a daily accountability post that you each respond to. So any of you can create the post if you're all admins. And so it can just be, here's daily accountability for Monday. Go ahead and comment with your goal for the day, and then reply at the end of the day with whether or not you achieved that goal and anything else that you achieved. And so each day you can have the same post, right? You just copy and paste it each day, and you and your partner can just make sure to reply to it on a daily basis. And also you can cheer each other on too. But it's basically that public, accountability. If you did nothing that day, you had to say it because you're doing daily posts. If that's too intense, of course you can do a weekly post, but I feel it's a really slippery slope when it comes to accountability when you do a week at a time rather than a day at a time. Okay? So that's one option. Of course, you can also create a text message group if you're comfortable sharing your phone number with that person. You can just create a chat in your DMs on Twitter. It's really up to you to decide. But basically here, my first tip is to have just a post that you create that you each respond to on a daily basis. Now, my second tip is to actually take that a step further and create a Google form matrix for each month. And so this becomes a digital tracker of whether or not you're doing work on a daily basis. So I'm going to show you actually how to create this matrix. It's very easy to do on Google Forms. But basically, before I get to that point, it's going to be a tracker. So you actually see the matrix, and all you have to do is you select each day, you're submitting it again and again. And so you open up the link, you have did you work on that day? You say yes if you did, and you submit it. And so both you and your partner can see the results and see if you're each keeping up with your daily habit of writing or getting work done. And so this is a bit more involved. You might find it a bit cumbersome to do, but it's basically a way of having a shared digital tracker between you. And so you can create one for each month, or you can just create one big form that has multiple months in it. That's really up to you to decide. And so let's go ahead and look at how to create this matrix. One option with Google is to just do a Google spreadsheet and then share that with your accountability partners. So in one spreadsheet, you can have different pages for each month and just label the rows and columns, whatever you'd like. But in this case, like I said, this is how you use a Google form. So I'm going to start with a blank form. Go ahead and change the title. Let's say accountability trackers. And then for the question, rather than multiple choice, you're doing a checkbox grid here near the end. And then the question will just be, in this case, for example, May 2020. The rows will be your names of each of your partners. So let's say Erica, Jill, and Joe. And then the columns will be the days of the month. So 1, and so on and so forth. All the way down to the end of the month. Now on the bottom here, you have the copy button and the trash button. So go ahead and press copy. It just copies the exact question again that you've already set up. So that's how it looks like when it's completed. And so now, rather than May, you have June. And so obviously you have to change the end of the month. So whether or not it has 30 or 31 days. And then again, copy. And now you can change this to July, and so on and so forth. If you'd like, you can also, for example, have, oh, it appeared above it. So you can change the order. This part here, you just drag it down. Okay. So if you'd like, you can also have, let's say, May 2020, and the first tracker is your writing. But then copy that. And the second one can be exercise if you have different goals. Okay, and so you just keep on going until you have as many trackers as you'd like on this form. If you go to the gear tab, you can click edit after submitting so that respondents can go ahead and edit their responses. Or of course, you want to make sure you don't limit the responses so that you can just open the link every day and submit a new response. And so you can actually track the progress of you and your partners by filling out this matrix. So click save, and then you can go ahead and send it to the people who are in your group with their email addresses. So it's a very simple way of creating accountability in this really cool chart, in my opinion. Though, of course, again, you can use the spreadsheets if you'd like rather than the forms, or go ahead and check out the third idea that I have on using Trello boards instead, which can be a lot of fun too. Now, my favorite way of staying accountable with your partners is to use Trello. And so that's a free productivity product management system that I use all the time in various ways. But basically in this case, I use it because you can create a board that you share with your partner or partners, and so each of you can see it on the app. And so for example, if you create a board and you have, let's say for each column is a week. And so on week 1, then you and your partners can each say, okay, Monday, and then Monday, Erica. And then in the description, you say what you did. and then Tuesday, Erica, and you put what you did. And then your accountability partners do their own cards, is what they're called. And so they say, Monday, Jill, this is what I did. Monday, Joe, this is what I did. And so you can see on one board how everybody's doing week by week. And so you can do that with weekly columns. And then, for example, you might have like a celebratory column. So your done column. And so each time you finish a major project, you can go ahead and put a card saying, Erica completed this article and submitted to this journal, right? And so you can just celebrate together your big wins, or even your small wins too, of things that you finish. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do this so you can follow along and do it yourself. But I really think this is the best one because it's very simple to set up and it's not as bulky as a Google form. And again, it's a bit more flexible than just having a post every day that you each reply to. I feel like it can be more fun to do the Trello board, and I think fun is a good way to keep yourself more accountable. Once you have your Trello app opened, so here it is on mine, on the top right here, you'll click the plus sign, and you'll go ahead and create a new board rather than a new card. And so go ahead and call it accountability group, whatever you'd like. And then you can go ahead and do it as a personal board, in which case you edit the people who are allowed to actually see and edit it. Or you can have a team. In this case, I called it accountability partnership. And so anybody on that team will be able to see this board. So really it's up to you to decide which one. So if you want, you can go ahead and do it as a personal board and have visibility be private, because as you can see here, it can be private or public. And then you can change the background to whatever you'd like. So I like using the photos. So I don't know what you want to do here, but maybe you could say accountability is often about planning. So there you go. You see the kind of bullet point lists and such here. And then go ahead and create the board. And so now this new board exists. Okay, and so as I mentioned, there's different columns here. So one suggestion I have for you is to go ahead and add list, and then you can just say the week that you're currently on. And so for example, let's say it's April 12th through, let's see, the 19th. Okay, and go ahead and click add, and now my column appears. And so you can just keep adding columns. So April 20th through the 27th, and so on and so forth. And then, like I mentioned, you can create a done list for you to share your accomplishments with the group. And you can create as many as you'd like. It just keeps going on over and over again. And then to create a card, like I said, you can have add a card. And so it can be Sunday, Erica, and then click add. And so when you click on the card, it opens up various things. So you can add attachments. It could be a PDF. If you want to have like a PDF of here's proof I actually did the writing I'm saying I'm doing, you can add images, whatever the case may be. You can create a checklist of here are my goals, right? If you click checklist, your goals are to, let's say, draft one page, and then also, read one article. And so when you have that checklist done, you can go back into your card and say, okay, I completed this one, right? Or I completed that one. And so your partners can see if you actually did everything you have on the checklist for that particular day. Or you can just add a description and you can say, my goal for the day is this, and then go back and edit a description saying, I accomplished the goal for the day, right? And then you click done, exit out. And now you can see here, Sunday Erica. It tells you here that there's a description. That's that little first icon with a paragraph. And then my checklist, it shows you that I did the 2 things that day. So you can do either way you'd like. And so again, you can keep adding, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for yourself and for your partners. So that's one way of using Trello as an accountability partnership, posting of here are my goals and if I did them or not. So this is one way of organizing it, and I will have a board that's more complete if you want to use it. I'll go ahead and link it below in the description box so that you can just copy it and use it for your own accountability. And so once you open up the board, when you click the link, all you need to do is go here to the top right And this button that's next to the settings button is the paste button, right? So you're making a copy and pasting it to your board. And so you can call it whatever you want. So let's say you're going to call it AP for accountability partnership. And then you can, again, it's going to be obviously your particular account. So you might not have any teams. So it can just be a personal private board, right? And so you can go ahead and say, keep the cards because I'm going to have it set up for you to use. But if you don't want to, that's fine too. And then you click curate and it'll copy onto your account. Okay, so keep in mind that same icon on the top right here, you can click invite and then you can invite your accountability partners. So you just use the email address that they have for Trello and send them an invite to use the board. Okay, so you just click there and you can say who you want to find there. And so that's how you make a private board shareable and editable to your accountability partners if you don't have a team created. Now, if you found this tips helpful, go ahead and click the like button below and let me know. If you have your own tips for finding an accountability partner or how to stay accountable, comment below with them so you can share them with everybody in this community. I'll see you next week with a new video.